Alright, Shalom. This is GMS on Forecasters.
Shalom.
Alright, they're doing a sit down. First of all, I want to give all praises, all the glory, the honor to
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem,
Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Ba'akadash.
Double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone that rule well, that taught us his truth. And blessings to the elect of the nation of Israel, man, wherever they are. Alright, and today we're going to go through Revelations chapter 9. And it's a chapter that has a lot of history in it. And it's got past history, all right, and then it's got a future prophecy in it as well. And mainly, it's about wars in this chapter. All right. So read verse 1.
You want me to Revelation 21?
Yeah. No. You hold that. I am the one. You read Revelation
9 and 1.
9 and 1. Yeah.
Come on, this is Revelation chapter 9 and verse 1. And it reads, "And the fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven onto the earth, and to him was given the key of the bottomless pit."
Now the bottomless pit is Europe,
Come
right? And that's where Esau came out of. You got that one?
Yep. This
You
is
know?
Revelation chapter 20, verse 1. It says, "And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit,
Bottomless pit is Europe. Continue.
and a great chain in his hand." Verse 2, yeah, it says, "And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan."
See, the devil is the so-called white man, all right? And Satan is the spiritual demon that this bitch worships. All right, continue.
"And he laid hold on that dragon, the old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years, and cast him into the bottomless pit,
Yep.
and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled,
Yep.
and after that he must be loosed a little season."
See, so when he came out in the Renaissance period, who was ruling Europe? It was us. But as I said, we had I always say, you have to know history. We had a plague called, scholars call it the Black Death, 1348 to 1354. And it wiped out half of our people in Europe. So that's when whites started to come up into power. All right? But the bottomless pit, the main point is the bottomless pit is what? Europe.
Come on.
All right, verse 2. Revelations 9, verse 2.
Revelation 9 and 2. "And he opened the bottomless pit, and there arose a smoke out of the pit, as the smoke of a great furnace, and the sun and the air were darkened by reason of the smoke of the pit."
Okay, now just remember that pit is Europe. All right, verse 3.
Verse 3. "And there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth, and unto them was given power, as the scorpions of the earth have power."
Now remember, this is John the Revelator. These are the visions that he saw. Now, when it talks about scorpions of the earth, when it talks about locusts, all right, John basically saw a vision of World War I.
Right.
All right, now you can look that up on your what's it called?
What, the World War I fighter jets?
Yeah, the planes were called dogfighters.
Mm-hmm.
All right, this is what this is talking about. Dogfighters. Dogfighters were planes that had, they made a lot of noise back then.
Yeah.
Obviously, but yeah, because they didn't have what they called
Muffler system.
Yeah, muffler system. They didn't like cars now. They got muffler system.
Yeah.
Like my cars, they're quiet, but back then they didn't have that, so they used to make a lot of noise. All right, dogfighter planes, and they had mounted guns on them as well, man. And it talks about scorpions, right?
Dog fighter.
Yeah, do you show it to camera? That's it. That's
The locusts.
Exactly. And it said scorpions of the earth
Yep.
have power, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what do scorpions do? They sting you, man.
Right.
If you go near that scorpion, you're gonna get stung. All right? And that's what them planes do. You know what I mean? They've got the,
Come on.
All right. So that was what verse were we in?
That was verse 3.
That was verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
All right, go to verse 4.
Revelation.
Let me make a point.
Yeah, go on.
Because if you go to Jeremiah 50, because you're just showing an example of a vision that is from times before these things were created. So that's their interpretation, right? The same way in Jeremiah 50, you read about the arrows, right? Which is talking about the missiles.
The missiles, yeah.
So I'll just read this real quick just to make the point.
That's a
Jeremiah
good
50,
point.
and 14, it says, put yourselves in array against Babylon round about, all ye that bend the bow. Shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she hath sinned against the Lord. So the arrows there are talking about the nuclear missiles, man. You know, there's going to be what? How many?
200 million.
Yeah, 200 million, man.
Mm.
So, you know, just to make an example of, you know, how the prophets before us had to interpret things through their visions. They're not dreams, man. They're visions, which means what they're seeing is actually going to happen, but they had to interpret it in their own way.
Exactly. They described it. Listen, in John's time, they never had planes, man.
Right. So they wouldn't have that terminology.
Yeah, like if I could go back in time, and he's on the island of Patmos. Yeah, did you see that plane? So what the hell are you talking about? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He wouldn't know. But the visions that the Lord gave him, he described it in the best way he could.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you know.
I got a precept just to back the point.
Yep.
This is 2nd Ezra chapter 16, and I'll start at 13. Right, it says, "For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss, when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world." So, I mean, if you take this for face value, that'd have to be a very strong individual, man, to be able to shoot a bow from one end of the world to the other end of the world, man. All right? The scriptures say how the prophet spoke in similitudes, man. They had to use the terminologies that they were familiar with in their day.
Exactly. So there's a lot of metaphors in the Bible, man.
Right.
That people don't understand unless you got good teachers.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Go to verse 4.
Revelation 9 and 4. "And it was commanded them that they should not hurt the grass of the earth, neither any green thing, neither any tree, but only those men which have not the seal in their seal of the Most High in their foreheads."
See, so basically, that's talking about back in that day. All right, the Lord is going to preserve the lineage of the elect. All right, for example, my great listen, if my great grandfather, all right, did not meet my grandmother, and the Lord put them to death or they didn't meet, then I wouldn't be alive. All right, so in this verse, an Israelite man, all right, back then would be preserved because the Lord knows that out of that loins of his line, the elect is going to be born. So they were preserved. Now, read it again because it says something about exemption. I want to.
Revelation 9 and 4. "And it was commanded them that they should not hurt the grass of the earth, neither any green thing, neither any tree, but only those men which have not the seal of the Most High in their foreheads."
There you go. Someone get Ezekiel 9 and 4, please.
That's the spirit.
All right, so the ones that don't have that seal, they were put to death, man, in this World War I.
I'll get something in between that, yeah?
Yeah, hang on one sec. There was men that were preserved so the elect can be born. All right, like Jeremiah, innit? From the belly I knew you. You know, etc. All right, but the exemption, the seal is an exemption from judgment, and the elect have that. You know, the 144,000, and the rest of the elect have that. They're going to be preserved no matter what happens. All right. So in order for them to be born, all right, and this is spirit as well, because my eldest sister, who I don't see her that much, you know, when I'm in hospital I see her because she works in the same hospital as me. She messaged me the other day and showed me a picture of my dad, who's passed away now, and a picture of my grandma, because my dad looked like my grandmother. And then she showed me another picture of another picture of my great grandparents. You know, I was looking at the phone. I was looking at them. I was like, I've never seen this picture before. You know, but if they weren't, my great grandparents, if they didn't get together and they weren't preserved, then my grandfather wouldn't be here. Then my dad wouldn't be here, and then I wouldn't be here. So the Lord, in that time, the Lord preserved people because they were a part of, because through their loins, their lineage, they were going to produce what? The elect.
That's right.
So the ones that had the seal, they were preserved. The ones that didn't, they were put to death in many horrible ways, you know. Now, who's got Ezekiel 9:4?
I got it.
There you are.
This is Ezekiel chapter 9, starting in verse 4.
And blue letter as well.
Oh.
Yeah, blue letter.
I can get the blue letter for you.
I can't.
But you read it and then he getting the blue letter.
Right, so Ezekiel 9 and verse 4, it says, And Yahweh said unto him, Go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof.
Yeah, and that's us. We're crying and sighing, man. When we see homosexuals, lesbians, when we see you know, blacks kill each other, we sigh and cry because those things are abominations, man. Like when we went to the chemist earlier on, there was this big buffalo white woman, man.
Yeah.
And her belly was big. Now, fair enough. You know, we're all not, you know what I mean? You know, we're not bodybuilders and all that stuff. But her top was about up here. And her belly, you saw her?
I saw her.
Yeah, her belly was hanging out, man. I was just like, you know.
Purple hair.
Yeah. She was, yeah, that's an abomination, man. You're not even supposed to laugh at that. You're supposed to have the spirit to see something like that and want to put it to death.
Yeah.
All right? She was big belly. Her top was up here. You know, her trousers was in her ass.
Yeah, she had a crop top.
She had a crop top.
That's wild, man.
So we're sighing and crying for those abominations, man. All right? So that's a sign that a man could be a part of the elect. We're prisoners of hope. Now go to the. Is it you that got a blue letter?
Yep, I got the blue letter here.
Yep. Remember, this is Ezekiel 9:4.
Yep.
All right.
You want the word for Mark, right?
Yeah, Mark. It's different to the one in Revelations, 13 and 16.
That's right.
All right.
So this is Mark in Ezekiel 9:4, Strong's H8420, and the word is thawad. Outline of biblical usage. It says desire, mark, second entry, mark as a sign of exemption from judgment.
See, a sign of exemption from judgment. All right. So let's read Revelations 9:4 again.
Ezekiel 9:4 again.
No, Revelations 9:4.
Oh,
Slack.
Revelation 9:4, and it was commanded them
Yep.
that they should not hurt the grass of the earth, neither any green thing, neither any tree, but only those men which had not the seal of the Most High in their foreheads.
See, so these men did not have the seal. Not. That's the key word that you need to highlight. Not. So they were put to death in this time. All right. Now, verse 5.
And to them it was given that they should not kill them, but they should be tormented 5 months, and their torment was as the torment of a scorpion when he striketh a man.
Now, what do the 5 months represent? 5 years, because World War One started in 1914,
Yeah.
and you know, people say, "Oh, it ended up in 1918," but really, still things was going on. So really, it ended in 1919. So that's what, 5 years. All right. See, that's why. Look, you can't just pick this Bible up and just to understand it all, man. Unless someone breaks it down to you, and that's why we call it breakdowns. All right. When you break something down, you explain something to people. All right. And if we, let's say we're Christians and we just try to, oh, what does scorpions mean? Oh, scorpion this, a scorpion that. You know what I mean? Not knowing that it's a metaphor for the dogfight planes. All right.
You wouldn't hear that in the Christian church. They don't read. They'll read over a few verses in Revelation that they believe that is easy to just get an understanding of, but this sort of thing they would never be able to understand that, man.
Yeah, they wouldn't be able to.
They don't teach that sort of thing in the church.
Yeah, they wouldn't be able to decipher it or discern it at all, man.
Quick precept.
All right, go on.
This is Acts chapter 8 and verse 30. And Philip ran thither to him and heard him read the prophet Isaiah and said, Understandest thou what thou readest? And he said, How can I, except some man should guide me? And he desired Philip that he would come up and sit with him.
Yeah, and let that be a lesson for you guys out there in other camps that want to act like you and come up by yourself. You have to keep going on about that, man, because you guys are going off. You know what I mean? you're supposed to give the double honours, man. You know, to them teachers, man. That taught you what you know. Scripture's telling you, man, you have to be taught.
Yeah, go on.
This is Amos 3 and verse 7. It says, surely the Lord power will do nothing, but he revealeth his secrets unto his servants, the prophets.
There you go. So our teachers, Apostle Great Millstone, they had teachers, you know, and it's gone down the what's the word? It's gone down the family line, the family chain.
That's right.
You know, and they've taught us, you know, this truth. So when they teach us this truth, you know, we have to look at it and break it down to you guys. All right, but we didn't just come up with it on our own. You know, the Spirit never came to me and said, "Oh yeah, this chapter's about World War One." I wouldn't have known that, man. Niggas are selfish, man. And niggas are glory hunters, and you're not gonna get any glory. You're gonna get death. Now read verse 6. Wait, read verse 6.
Revelation 9 and 6. And in those days shall men seek death and shall not find it.
All right, stop. Death and not find it. Go on Google shell shock. Why don't you guys Google shell shock? Because in World War One, that's what many of the soldiers had. And they'll like this. They'll be like this, man. You know, they're constantly shaking.
Harlem Shake.
And they can't control it, man. So if you are living like that, they had gas. They had mustard gas in World War One. They had trench warfare. They had flamethrowers. One of the best films is All Quiet on the Western Front. I can't say about the old one, but the new one that is on Netflix, it will blow your mind, man.
They were getting diseases from the trenches as well, with all the rats and stuff.
Yeah, the rats was in there. Oh man, it was So it says what? Read that verse again, one of you guys.
Revelation 9 and 6.
Yep.
And in those days shall men seek death, and shall not find it, and shall desire to die, and death shall flee from them.
See, shall flee from them. So in World War One, even in World War Two, you had amputations, man, where they had to amputate your leg.
Yeah.
They didn't have anesthetic.
I'll say this: if anyone hasn't ever gone there before, this is to the brothers, right? Go to the Imperial War Museum, man. It's not far from Elephant Castle.
Yeah, Oval. Yeah.
Go there, man. It's very good.
Very good.
Very informative. You know, they have scenes as well that kind of depict, you know, the trenches and stuff like that with you know, wax models and whatnot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of information there, man. It's good to know that history.
Yeah, it's good to know that history. You said you got a piece of art?
I've got the definition of shell shock as well.
Ah, beautiful.
Yes, that's it.
Alright, go on, read that.
Okay, this is the definition in the dictionary of shell shock. It says, a condition with psychological and psychosomatic symptoms resulting from exposure to active warfare, first identified in soldiers undergoing bombardment in the trenches in the First World War.
Yep.
Shell shock would now be regarded as a form of post-traumatic stress
PTSD.
disorder. If I may say something, Brother Bashar, because it says they were exposed to warfare. What it is that your senses become heightened in that state of war, because like any gunshot or any bomb blast, you know, it shocks you.
Fight or
Feels
flight.
yeah. So when you come out of that sort of being in that situation for a long time, and you're sitting in a quiet room, something as simple as a knock on the door will trigger you, because it'll be like another like gunshot or bomb blast. So that's why those people are constantly in a state of like, you know.
Yeah.
Don't they show things like that in First Blood?
Yeah, that's true. When he's in the prison.
Yeah, there's certain
There's
things that
flashbacks.
sets him off, man. He gets the flashbacks, man. And, you know, John Rambo, man.
Yeah, because it was brutal, man.
Yeah.
World War II was brutal, but I didn't know much about World War One until I started watching certain films and documentaries on it, and it was brutal, man.
That's got to be the most brutal one, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I think
it's the more. Well, I don't want to use the word primitive because it's not, you know, that be going way back, but in comparison to World War II and the one that was going to happen, it is primitive, you know. The no man's land and all of that, you know, fighting hand to hand, bayonets, getting cut up,
bayonets,
up and
flamethrowers. They had.
Like you said, the flamethrowers.
Yeah, man, it was brutal, man. And the Germans never started that war, by the way, contrary to belief, man. All right, they were victims. They only backed up their ally Austria-Hungary, and then they declared. You know what I mean? And then at the end of the war, they blamed everything on Germany, and they made them pay 6,600 million in reparations. I know it's 6,600. It's always the six.
Always.
So you can tell that the Masons were behind all that, because a man called Albert Pike wrote 3 World Wars and what they would achieve. And the Third World War, he said that the calamity is going to be so great that people embrace this new world order. So everything that's going on in the world that has been back then and now is just Bible prophecy, man. And imagine amputating your leg without anesthetic. And you know what they'll do? They'll give you whiskey. They'll make you drunk as fuck. And they'll give you some wood or to bite down on. And they will just get sore. Hold him down, hold him down. Let me die. You know? So read that verse again where it said they all desire to die.
Absolutely. Revelation chapter 9 and verse 6.
Yep.
And in those days shall men seek death, and shall not find it.
See?
And shall desire to die, and death shall flee from them.
See? So they wanted death, but they didn't find it, man. There's one bit in All Quiet on the Western Front where they find one of their partners, soldiers, and his leg is going green. And he said, I'll be a cripple. So when they gave him some food, he used a fork and he just stabbed himself in the neck and he killed himself. Because he didn't want to be a cripple.
Is that the new version you're talking about?
The new version.
And where is that?
Netflix. Excellent, man. And you can have... it's got subtitles in it, or you can have the English version.
Okay.
Brilliant, man. Alright. Verse 7.
Revelation 9 and 7. And the shapes...
Alright, stop. Do you have a precept?
It's gone now. It's gone.
Okay. Alright, go on.
Revelation 9 and 7. And the shapes of the locusts were like unto horses prepared unto battle. And on their heads were as it were crowns like gold, and their faces were as faces of men.
And that's talking about in World War I on the battlefield, the German... Someone looked that up as well, is the German soldiers would have things like war horses, you know? Because in that war, they still used horses back then. And also the Germans in World War I, they had these, battles on the field, and they used to deck the horses in armor, all right? Now they had helmets. If you Google German soldier spiked helmets, German soldier spiked helmets, and put WW1, see what comes up. Because they used to have these helmets that were like, you know, like the Metropolitan Police have the old helmets, the round heads. But at the top, it used to have a big spike, and they were either gold or silver.
Yeah, look.
You know? And if you see the picture, then you can show it to the camera.
It's called pickle hoe. Right, you got that?
Yeah, I got the picture of it.
And it says, so like a pickle helmet is a spiked leather or metal helmet that was worn in the 19th and 20th centuries by Prussian and German soldiers of all ranks, as well as firefighters and police.
There you go, man. All right. So they had these. It was like even after World War I, even when they had police, they used to have those same helmets as well. Before that man, what's his name, Hitler came into power. All right. So the Lord is in this chapter is basically showing you the intricacies of World War I. And John the Revelator, he had this vision that the Lord gave him. All right, go to verse 8 now.
Revelation 9 and 8. And they had hair as the hair of women, and their teeth were as the teeth of lions.
Okay, the hair, the high-ranking German soldiers would have... that's it. Yeah, show the camera. Yeah, the high-ranking German soldiers, they would have the same kind of helmets, but hair would be coming out of it. There you go. All right. And when it says teeth, all right. I read it again.
Revelation 9 and 8.
Hair of women, and their teeth were as the teeth of lions, yeah?
That's right.
Yeah, that teeth is talking about the bullets that come out of the dogfighter. Meaning, the dogfighter, which is the aeroplane, had a gunners at the back, all right? And they used to basically, you know, you're flying around, there's the enemy on the ground. You know what I mean? And then they'll just literally destroy the enemy.
Come on.
All right? So the Bible is, and hang on, World War One was when? 1914. So when was the Bible written? When were these scriptures written?
Way before.
You know, way before. So how did it know that? How did it predict that there's going to be three world wars?
Because that's the will of the Heavenly Father.
Yeah, look, man. A lot of you people are in cartoon land, man. You know what I mean? You're in cartoon land. You think this is a fairy tale book when it's a book about you and your destiny and your future, and you should take heed to that, man. Okay. Now, verse 9.
Just a quick point to back you up with the teeth.
Okay, go on.
Because even with modern day terminology, when Jake talk about guns and, you know, when they describe the bullets, they often describe it as sweets or teeth.
And they say arm to the teeth, right?
Arm to the teeth.
Yeah, your arm. Yeah, they're armed to the teeth. That's it. Yeah,
There you go.
true. Like them Terminator films, man.
God.
What was it? I watched the other day. Terminator. What is it called?
What,
Dark Fate.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the guy goes, "You need weapons." He went in the store and they had loads of weapons. He's in there, said, "Oh, I need an EMP." For that trip, man, you need pulse. And EMPs can take out an electrical grid. You know, so that's what's going to happen in the future. But when it talks about teeth, it's talking about it's what's it called? It's
The bullets.
the bullets that come out of the dogfighter plane, and there'll be one person flying the plane, next man at the back with the gun, man. All right, verse 9.
Verse 9, and they had breastplates, as it were breastplates of iron, and the sound of their wings was as the sound of chariots of many horses running to battle.
And the iron is talking about the planes, because the planes are made of what? Iron, man. All right. You have to understand, World War One and World War Two would not have happened if colonialism didn't happen. Because for example, World War Two, how did the white man get uranium to make the Manhattan Project? He got it from the Congo, man, and other places, Niger and all these places, and he could get it because the white man colonized those places. Now, how do they get iron to make these planes? You know, now there's places. Where is it? Scandinavia. They have a big deposit of iron in this under the ground or whatever, in mountains or wherever they dig it out from. All right, those dogfighter planes were made from iron. All right, and the planes were loud back then. I think this brother can give us the example. Yeah. Because back then they didn't have the muffler system, as the brother said, which you have in the car. Like if you put on your car, hey, we praise the Lord that we that the Lord's given us cars. You know what I mean? We all praise to Yahweh Shai for that. But if you put these modern cars, you put it on, it don't. This car that I had and the old one, I put it on and is it on? Do you know what I mean? I was like, is it on? Is it working?
Yeah.
You know, the first time I drove it, it had a handbrake on, and the handbrake was on the floor.
Oh yeah, one of them ones.
One of them ones.
God.
So I was driving and something was beeping and it was all right. And I realized that the handbrake's still on. Because the handbrake is not, usually in the car, the handbrake is here, right?
Yeah,
But on my last car, it was on the floor. So, brake, acceleration, and then the handbrake, man. You know? So, this one, I'm getting used to it, but the sound of the planes were very, very loud. So you knew that you were going to get bombed because you can hear them coming. All right? The new planes, silent, man.
Yeah.
That's why in Gaza they just bomb that place. I mean, that place is a real wasteland, man. All right, verse 10.
And they had tails like unto scorpions, and there were stings in their tails, and their power was to hurt men 5 months.
That's it. And remember, the 5 months represents what? 5 years. 1914 to 1919. All right. And remember, the tails were the gunners that were in the planes, the dogfighter planes. They used to be at the back, you know, and it could swivel, innit? It had a little dome, and they could swivel and yeah, all that stuff. By the way, a little note that submarines started in World War I. Germans made it.
Has to be the Germans.
So,
Teaming.
yeah, the white was it? Someone get that in Obadiah, the wise men and teaming.
Yeah.
All right. Submarines. The first time a submarine came on the scene was the Germans that did it. You know, they're very industrious people. But now, the Lord is bringing them down because ever since the COVID pandemic, their economy is worse than this one. How can you go from being a top manufacturer, all right, and producing things, and your economy was the best in the EU, and now it's literally in the toilet, man.
Yep.
And the pandemic did all that. So there is purposes for all these things that the Lord does. Sometimes you can't see it or we can't see it, but there's purposes, man. And a lot of it is done for judgment, more or less. You know, because these Germans, they're proud, man. I've been there 4 times, man, and they're either really hard and cold, or they're really warm and soft. But I remember I watched a documentary about minorities in Germany, and this Greek guy goes, "The German is cold," and they are cold, man. They're cold, man. They're go and try and buy or rent a flat in Germany, being black. Very difficult, man.
Wow.
You know.
You wanted a scripture in Obadiah. Is it the one about Teman?
Yeah.
Alright. Let me read into it from verse 8. Obadiah 1:8 says, "Shall I not in that day, saith Yahweh, even destroy the wise men out of Edom, and understanding out of the mount of Esau, and thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed, to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter."
Yeah, see, but it talks about them being what? Wise men, right?
Yep.
See, so...
Go on, precept.
Yeah, go on, precept. But so the first submarines to hit on the scene came out of the Germans in World War I. All right, go on.
This is Jeremiah 49:7.
That's the spirit.
Concerning Edom, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahshua of hosts, is wisdom no more in Teman? Is counsel perished from the prudent?
Yep.
Is their wisdom vanished?
And that's the reason why the German economy is in the toilet, man. Because of that prophecy. Hey, look, you know, like when the Conservatives were in power, they said, "Oh, we're the top economy in the G7. We grew the most." They did grow the most, but everyone else didn't. So it's just like me. It's just like me running a marathon, you know, and literally, I win the marathon, but then the next person behind me is just like 2 seconds behind me, and I'm bragging about it. No, yeah, all right, yeah, UK was the best economy in the G7, but all the other economies are in the toilet. All right, so you can clearly see that Germany right now, which is a producer or a manufacturer, what cars come out of Germany?
Audi, BMW, Mercedes,
BMW,
Porsche, Volkswagen.
And Volkswagen means Volk means what's it called?
Yeah.
People's car.
Yeah.
You know, the Deutsche. What did Hitler used to always say? The Deutsche Volk, which means
German folk.
Yeah, the German folk, the German people, and that car, that Beetle, the Volkswagen, was a revolutionary car back then.
Come on.
You know, and the Germans started HP, hire purchase, paying it in installments. So they're wise, but like the brother said, their wisdom is going because the Lord is bringing down Esau because they're Edomites, man. Okay, all right. Verse 11.
Revelation 9:11, and they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in the Hebrew tongue is Abaddon, but in the Greek tongue hath his name Apollyon.
All right, and that king is while World War I was going on, Google Kaiser Wilhelm II. He's the king that this is talking about.
And that word Apollyon, that means destroyer.
Destroyer, destruction. Yeah. And you can look that up in the blue letter as well. That Apollyon,
Come on.
or whatever it's called. Is it Abaddon and Apollyon? Yeah, Abaddon and Apollyon. You know, so that's how you know that it's talking about these Edomites, man, because they do nothing but destroy.
Is this the dude here, Kaiser Wilhelm?
Kaiser Wilhelm II, is it?
Yeah, Wilhelm II. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you want me to read about him or?
No, just on the picture on the camera.
Can't.
All right. And by the way, he was related to this garbage royal family that we got here, man. You know, he's related to them, man.
And I'll read this quick.
Yeah, go on.
It says John 10 and 10, it says, the thief cometh not, but for to steal, and to kill, and to destroy.
Yep.
I am come that they might have life, and that they might have it more abundantly.
Exactly. He's a destroyer. Now, when we look up, was it Abadion, or in the Greek time, Apollyon?
Yep.
What comes up in the blue out?
I've got Apollyon. This is Strong's G 623, and it says destroyer, the angel of the bottomless pit, the destroyer.
See, the destroyer. Who came out of the bottomless pit, Europe? Esau did. So he's the destroyer, man. All right. And the word angel just means messenger. All right. Some people get that confused, but the word angel just means messenger, man. Hey, soldiers are messengers. You know, they're sending a message that listen, your empire's coming to an end. You know, we're gonna destroy you. All right. Someone get Revelations 12 and 7, please, because it mentions about the war in heaven.
Yeah, I've got that.
And it talks about the dragon and his angels. There you go, man.
So Revelation 12 and 7, it says, and there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels.
See, the dragon. And who's that dragon? And that's Esau, man, and his power structure. So the Edomites are going to have their own... That's why they got Area 51 and UFO technology. They actually are going to try and fight Yahushua and the angels. Madness, man.
And he's also that falling star, man.
Yeah, exactly. You know? So it's quite evident that this man is a destroyer, he's a deceiver, he can't be trusted. Alright? And he's the what? In the New Testament it says what? Son of perdition. What does the word perdition mean?
Destruction.
Yeah, destruction. He destroys things. He represents death. He doesn't represent life. He only, and there was a lot of death in World War One, man.
And we was talking about that yesterday, man. Remember that?
Oh
we
yeah,
was talking about how he portrays himself as the light of the world, the hero of Earth, and Edomites, and they spread democracy and all this, and in the movies they're playing heroes and righteous people, and they're nothing like that, man.
Yeah, it's fantasy land, man. They're molesting
They are the
kids.
seed of the wicked, man.
Yeah, they're molesting kids in the church. What kind of church is that, man? Alright. Revelations 9 and 12, please.
Revelation 9 and 12, it says, one woe is past, and behold, there come two woes hereafter.
And woe means destruction. So that's Revelations 11 and 14 as well.
Yep.
Alright, beautiful. So that shows that there's going to be 3 world wars. The word woe means destruction. Alright? So it said that there will be 3 woes. Now, that's in this chapter, but there's a precept that says the same thing. And there's a count in Joel. Remember that we talked about that today? I don't know, Joel.
Oh yeah.
Which is very Joel.
Yehoshaphat, yep.
Yeah, I get that one.
John Revelation 11 first.
Yeah,
14.
right.
Revelation 11 and 14 says, the second woe is past.
Yeah.
Behold, the third woe cometh quickly.
See, the second woe. So in Revelations 9 and 12, which we're going through in breakdown, it says one woe is past, and behold, 2 woes come hereafter. That's 3 world wars. And then it repeats itself in Revelations 11 and 14 is it?
Yes.
Yeah, Revelation 14. So there's going to be a lot of destruction, man, coming on this earth. All right.
That's right.
Got that one.
Joel 3.
Okay, wait, stop. Go on.
2nd Ezra 16 and 17. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days?
Exactly. Well, why did Ezra say that? Because it's going to be a terrible time. So we've had the World War One, and that was bad, man. But this third World War is going to be like Isaiah 9 and 5 says, burning and fuel of fire. All right, which is a metaphor for nuclear missiles being struck.
All right. Can I read 18?
Yeah, go.
The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come?
There you go, man. So there's a lot of evils coming up on the earth. Okay. Now, verse 13.
You wanted the
Oh
Yahweh
yeah,
scripture?
like, sorry, yeah.
This is really. Can I read into it?
Close that window.
I'll start. The point's at 12. I'll start at 9. This is Joel 3 and verse 9. It says, "Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong."
And those are the weak nations now. Like India's got nuclear weapons.
That's right.
North Korea's a weak state, but they got nuclear weapons. That's why they can't invade North Korea, man. You know, that Kim Jong's ping pong or whatever his name is, man.
Kim Jong-un.
Kim Jong. I know his name. I'm just taking a piss out of him. He's a heathen, isn't it? That guy. And by the way, he's cruel, man. He's very cruel, man. He's very. I mean, in North Korea, they have to collect their own feces. But it's not their fault. It's America's fault because America's put so much sanctions on them. They don't have fertilizer. So when you shit, you have to collect it and give it into government officials. Wow. Absolutely disgusting, man. Absolutely disgusting. Oh my gosh.
No sewage system there.
Nah, they don't have any of that.
It's
Well,
but it's not about the sewage system.
It's not about the sewage
having
system.
to collect the feces to prepare it for like you prepare manure. The same thing.
yeah, fertilizer. Yeah, the poorer people don't have toilets. The richer people do, but the poorer people, basically, they have a hole in the ground, and they're shitting there, and they put something over it, and every week they have to dig it out, put it in a bag, and give it to government official. Wow, crazy, man. You know what I mean? All right, you pulled it out, right, Joel?
Yeah, there's a bit more on it.
Right,
reading into the point, Joel 3 and 11, "Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about thither. Cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be awakened and come up to the valley of Yahweh-Shaphat," which means Yahweh's judgment. "For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about."
And where is that Yahweh-Shaphat? That's in East Jerusalem, man. All right, we looked it up earlier, isn't it?
Kidron Valley.
Yeah, Kidron Valley, man. All right. So in the Third World War, that's going to be the main epicenter for the Third World War. All right, which is going to be in Israel, and they deserve it, man. I mean, look what they've done. They've made Gaza a wasteland. Okay. Okay, go on.
What you said about India. Jeremiah 50 verse 54. "Therefore hear ye the counsel of the Lord, that he be taken against Babylon, and his purposes, that he have purposed against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their inhabitants desolate with them."
And that's talking about them gutter rats, man. That are in our homeland, man. That are being totally unjust. And not that we give a damn about them Arabs, but some of them are our people. And when Hamas released the hostages the other day, all of them hostages said, "Thank you, Hamas, for keeping us from bombardment." You know, they actually were on TV thanking Hamas. That was a powerful statement. One of them said, "We want to thank them because while Israel was bombing Gaza, they protected those people." But there's two little babies, I think. One was 9 months, and a boy 4. They're dead. But you know what Israel's saying now? "Oh, Hamas killed them." No, you killed them because you bombarded where those hostages are.
Yeah.
So this is just all this stuff that's happening is just a build up to that prophecy. Okay. Let's go back. Revelations 9 and 13, please.
Revelation 9 and 13. "And the 6th angel sounded, and I heard a voice from the 4 horns in the golden altar, which is before the Most High,
All right, verse 14.
saying to the 6th angel, which had the trumpet, Loose the 4 angels which are bound in the great river Euphrates."
Beautiful. Stop. Get Revelation. Now, the river Euphrates is where? It goes through Syria. Someone get that on a map, man.
It's so long.
It is. It's very long, but it's drying up, isn't it?
Yep.
And someone get Revelation
16.
16 and 12.
Come on, I got that.
The water. Because that river's drying up, man.
Yeah.
And the kind of things that have been seen because they're drying up. They were drying up, and there was like a cave kind of thing, and people keep hearing strange noises from down there. You know, so a guy tried to put a camera down there. Or you hear something like, but it's under a river. So because the river's drying up, right? This cave was under the river, and all the locals say that they hear strange noises, and when they try to put anything down there, you know, they get scared. All you can see is very glowy eyes, nothing else. So there's a lot of things that the Lord has that He's gonna reveal in these last days, man.
Yeah, that's perfect. Go. Just put the brightness up.
Is that the map of the river? Yeah.
Yeah, it goes across Iraq, isn't it?
Yeah, Iraq. I think Syria. Yeah, man.
Is it too bright?
Because around that area of Syria and all that kind of thing, Lebanon, Israel, what is that called? The Fertile Crescent. Right? You know? But it's not fertile no more because the gutter rats are there, man. And that's why they have to import trees, because they can't really grow much, because the Lord is not with them. Clearly.
In the scriptures, talk about the beauty of the trees of Lebanon, man.
Yeah,
What is it? What is it?
Cedars.
Cedars, yeah.
Cedar trees. In Lebanon they grow, but in our land, our homeland, they have to import trees.
And the cedars are it's a very good timber, man.
Yeah.
You know, you can use it outside. You can use it to build a manner of things, man.
All manner of things. Yeah. See, there you go. He's got Revelation 16 and 12.
Yep, Revelation 16 and verse 12 reads, and the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared.
See? And that's talking about all these nations that are going to fight this bitch called Babylon the Great. It's America. Alright? So that river drying up is giving access, because in World War II and in World War I, they had to cross rivers, and especially in World War II, they had to cross rivers. Alright, we're going to do it at dark, at the cover of night. They'll try and cross the river and be quiet, and then the Germans will see them, and then they'll just shoot the hell out of them in their rubber dinghies. You know what I mean? So now that the river's dried up, that gives them easy access to go to Israel, man.
Yeah.
Where in Joel, what was it, Joel 3?
Mm-hmm.
Where Joel 3, the
Valley of Jehoshaphat.
Yeah, Jehoshaphat is. So the Lord is bringing all of those things together. All right.
And can I just mention some of the nations that's on the east side of that river?
Beautiful,
Just to further back the point. So you've got Iran, you've got Pakistan, you've got India, you've got Afghanistan, you've got Russia, of course, you've got China. All right, which just some of those nations I've mentioned makes up what the BRICS nation.
Yeah.
You know, what's that? Brazil, Russia, India, China,
France.
South Africa. You know.
Yeah. Many other nations will join it.
Saudi Arabia, Ethiopia.
Yeah, but the Western powers don't want that to occur.
Right.
They don't want that building of those nations together, man. That's a threat to them.
Tough. All right, verse 15.
Revelation 9 and 15, and the 4 angels were loosed, which were prepared for an hour and a day and a month and a year, for to slay the third part of men.
And the third part of man is who? Esau.
Yeah.
All right, because you've got 3 classifications of men. Sons of God, which is, you know, our lineage, or sons of Yahweh, should we say.
Yep.
Sons of men and sons of the wicked. So they're the third part of man. All right, because they're bitches, man. They're sons of the wicked. They produce, that's their fruit. Their fruit brings forth wickedness. That's why the Lord, someone at Psalms 17 and 13, that's why the Lord said the wicked is my sword. All right, because when you have a wicked mindset, you don't give a shit what you do to a man. Like that quiet on the Western Front, there was a bit where a guy there was on the battlefield, and he had to kill this French guy. This guy was shooting at him, and they were fighting, and he stabbed him, and he was in his neck. And then he realised what he's done, and then he started to. One minute he's fighting and killing him, the next minute he tried to help him, because he realised that listen, this is barbaric, you know. But that's a film. In reality, Esau will just do it, kill them, and probably drink their blood, because he's a devil, man. Do you know what I mean? So he's the third part of man, all right.
That's right.
And the Lord's not going to have any mercy on them. So look at James 2:13. They're not going to have any mercy because they've not had any mercy on us. They've not had any mercy on them poor Aborigines over there in Australia. They're still oppressing those people, man. You know, and they've done nothing to the so-called white man. The Maoris are still oppressed. They've done nothing to the so-called white
Hey,
man.
remember, them Australians, they're descendants of criminals, man. Let's not forget that.
Oh, yeah,
they
yeah,
walk around
yeah.
like they're noble and that, but they're descendants of criminals. They got shipped from here over there.
Yeah, that was King George III, our last monarch. He's the one that sanctioned that, man. And he told that devil, Captain Cook, make it a scientific expedition. What did he do? He went over there and started killing people. See? So they're the sons of the wicked. Alright, who's got that? Alright, 2 precepts also, isn't it?
Yeah.
Psalm
Yeah,
17.
I've got Psalm.
Alright, Psalms. Alright, go on.
Yeah, Psalm 17 and 30. It says here, "Arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword."
And the Lord is going to disappoint him because his enterprise, as soon as he gets to the pinnacle of this so-called New World Order that he's trying to get, that's when the house and the angels will come. Alright? And they're going to come in the midst of that Third World War. And them nations that are fighting each other, they're going to stop fighting. They're going to try and fight him.
Yeah.
You know? Alright, there's one, James 2:13.
Oh, I'll go over it. This is James 2 and 13. So, yeah, James 2 and verse 13 says, "For he shall have judgment without mercy, that hath showed no mercy, and mercy rejoiceth against judgment."
See, so he's not going to get any mercy, man. Alright? So all you niggas that are sticking up for a man that's not going to get mercy from God, fuck you, man. Alright? Alright, let's go back. Revelations 9 and 16.
Yep. And the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000. And I heard the number of them.
And that's talking about the nukes that's going to hit America. Because when these nukes happen from all these different nations, they're going to be like an army, going to be like in formation, man.
We're saying for that.
Yeah. Go on.
This is Joel 2 and
Say
3. It says,
Oh,
"A
is it?
fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yea, and nothing shall escape them." This is verse 4. "The appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as horsemen so shall they run. Like the noise of chariots," so like in verse 5, "like the noise of chariots on the tops of mountains shall they leap, like the noise of a flame of fire that devoureth the stubble, as a strong people that set in battle array. Before their face, the people shall be much pained, all faces shall gather blackness." Verse 7, "They shall run like mighty men, they shall climb the wall like men of war, and they shall march everyone on his ways, and they shall not break their ranks." And that's an important part, that not breaking their ranks. You know, they're going to be set for a course, man. And it's not the technology that's going to make sure that they hit the targets. It's the power of the Lord, man.
Yeah, our Lord. His spirit is going to be in the missiles, man.
That's right.
Man, say something.
Yeah,
Sure.
go on.
Something else that happened last week. I forgot to do a video on it. The Lord will know I'll do one this week. Donald Trump was saying that they want to build an Iron Dome defense system in America. Now they can build it all they want, but that prophecy proves that it's not going to work. It's not going to stop the missiles.
It's not going to stop the missiles. You know, Iron Dome. How can an Iron Dome? Hey,
Oh,
Hamas.
select it. Let me read
go on,
this
go
as
on.
well. Verse 8 says, "Neither shall one thrust another, they shall walk everyone in his path. And when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded." So, you know, there's not really any missiles hitting each other. Man.
Yeah.
Imagine a clean course, every one of them is going to hit where it's supposed to hit, man.
Exactly. That's what it said. It describes them as what? What's the word? Horsemen.
Because you get so you get surface-to-air missiles, right, that can destroy incoming missiles. But
Interception.
That's not gonna work, man.
It's not gonna work.
It's not gonna work, man.
Plus they're too fast.
Yeah.
And there's a book called The Relationship Between Nukes and UFOs. That's it. The relationship between nukes and UFOs. And in this book, the author says that when the chariots, so-called UFOs, they're chariots in the Bible, but so-called UFOs, when they go over the missile silos, they don't work.
Yeah.
So they can just switch them off whenever they want.
Yep.
So when all these nations shoot their missiles on America, America's going to try and shoot back, and it's not going to work.
Yeah.
Because the Lord's not going to allow it, because this is the Lord's judgment.
So like I got all more scripture just to prove that the Lord's in control of those, man.
Yeah.
Revelation 7:1, it says, and after these things I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 wings of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. So that they're controlling that, man, making sure that no matter what Esau does, if his little stupid international conflicts, that button pressing bullshit that they're always talking about, that's not gonna happen.
That's not gonna
until
happen.
the Lord decides it's gonna happen.
Yeah. Their stupid doomsday clock.
That nuclear threat is not in their hands, man.
Yeah, the other day they forwarded a doomsday clock.
89 seconds to midnight.
Yeah. Fuck you with your doomsday clock, man.
It lasted
You know?
like 2020 or something.
Yeah, they're not. Look, you're not in charge of anything, man. The Lord, the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shai, is in charge of doomsday. And there will be a doomsday, man. Alright? For you heathens, especially you Edomites, man.
Come on.
Alright, now go to verse 17.
Bob Kashai, if I may, with all that was brought up, I think we have to read 15 again, man. And let's
Okay,
go
go on.
from there, right? So, Revelation 9 and 15, it says, and the 4 angels were loosed, which were prepared for an hour, and a day, and a month, and a year, for to slay the 3rd part of men.
So when you're loose, right? Imagine a lion in a cage, and then you open that cage. Imagine there's people, you know, like, for example, I studied this the other day. The Israelites in the Roman Empire who were Christians, they were thrown into lions' dens, man. You know, lions ate them up. There's a man called Ignatius, who was one of the high priests in the church in Smyrna, which is I think in Syria. All right, and they arrested him, man. The Romans, because they're under the Roman Empire, they arrested him. They took him to Rome, and they took him basically to put him in what's that Colosseum called? Who did that? I think it was the Flavian dynasty. I can't remember what the Colosseum's called. It's after one of the Roman emperors. But anyway, the big Colosseum, they put him in there, man. And you know what he said? He started saying, yeah, bring on the beasts. I want them to rip my flesh off. He actually welcomed it. And when they opened the lion cage, the lion came out and just literally laid down near his feet.
It didn't kill him.
Well, it didn't kill him yet. And then he started talking to the crowd, and then the lion got up and then killed him.
Words.
Yeah, that was his final words. But the whole Colosseum was like,
Hold on.
this is crazy. Why isn't the lion? And many times Israelites, so-called Christians, because that's what we were called back then, all right, were thrown into lion. Oh, by the way, they binded us under Nero. They binded us on woods like this, all right, and our feet wouldn't touch the ground, and they would just light us on fire. So this is the kind of deaths that the elect is going to go through, man. You know, so that's why people that don't have so much fear of death, all right, this truth is not for you then. It's not for you, because get Romans 15 and 4. That was written before time was written for our learning. The Bible says, all right, written aforetime for our learning. That means the Old Testament, you know what I mean, and the scriptures and the prophets. But when we can also learn from history as well. All right, we can learn from history, and believe me, that was back then, after Yahushua died and rose again. All right, so imagine now. Okay, someone's got that.
Did you say who the 3rd part of men was?
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
No. Sons of the wicked, Esau. You know, because you have 3 classifications of men. You know, sons of men, sons of Yahweh, sons of God, which is us,
Yeah.
and sons of the wicked, which is this bitch. Yeah. Alright. Romans.
15 verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
This is Romans 15 verse 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scripture might have hope.
See, so the comforter is the scriptures. When you understand them, not some black Arab called Muhammad. Now, he ain't the comforter. All right, the Lord doesn't deal with heathens, especially not people that have enslaved us. Are you mad? You're out of your mind, man. Other nations that have enslaved us, them Arabs are still enslaving our people to this day.
Yeah.
All right, so fuck Lebanon and fuck Gaza and fuck all you Arabs, man. All right.
That's right.
Verse 17.
Yep. And thus I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat on them, having breastplates of fire, and of jacinth, and brimstone, and the heads of the horses were as the heads of lions, and out of their mouths issued fire, and smoke, and brimstone.
And that's talking about, when it talks about heads of lions, it's talking about the nuclear warheads.
That's right.
Because, let me see. Okay. Let's just say this is a nuclear warhead, right?
Yeah.
You know, the missile. The warheads are up here. Yeah, so, yeah.
Because, to get into it, that's just the propellant. So that is what's sending them.
Yeah.
So the damage is what's
The
actually
silo.
inside the warhead.
Yeah. So it will open up, innit? And then warheads will come out. That's the warheads is the one that's gonna actually, not this bottle of water, but the warheads is gonna be at there. And yeah.
It's like a bullet, man. When you fire a bullet, right? And the hammer hits the not a gunman, but it hits the end of the bullet, right? That explosion that happens there sends the actual bullet out of the casing. That's why you have the casing that remains in the gun or on the floor, wherever it goes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Casings, isn't it?
That's how it works.
Yeah.
So they're just like large bullets, man.
Yeah.
Basically.
And if I may, bullets are like arrows. So it goes back that term broken arrow.
Yep.
When they use a missile.
And how mad is that they call them arrows, man?
Yep.
Yeah.
Esau knows the history, but you won't tell us it.
Yeah, he won't tell us it, but we discern through the spirit. Yeah, that film.
God.
What was it, John Travolta?
Yeah.
Slater?
On the plane.
Broken Arrow. And what was it about? A nuclear warhead or something like that?
Yeah.
There you go. All right. So the
It's
movies.
like it was about someone gaining control outside of the U.S. government of their, I believe it was of their
Warheads.
nuclear weapon.
Oh,
That's why they
nuclear
call it
weapons,
broken arrow, because they no longer have control over it.
Okay, there you go. All right. So Esau's telling you in the movies. That's why Apostle said movies are spiritual. They are spiritual. All right, verse 18.
Revelation 9 and 18. By these three was the third part of men killed, sons of the wicked, by the fire, and by the smoke, and by the brimstone which issued out of their mouths.
That's right. And as we said, the third part of men is who?
Sons of the wicked.
Sons of the wicked.
Yeah.
Three classifications of men: sons of God, sons of men, sons of the wicked. And when this place is destroyed, this man's system, this beast system, is going to be destroyed with it. You know, because that's what he's trying to do. He talks about what's it called? CDC.
CBDC.
Yeah, CBDCs.
Oh, CBDC Central.
Yeah. All of that is going to be done away with when this happens, man.
Infrastructure.
So notice that in this chapter it goes to World War One, but then it kind of skips and goes to World War Three. Okay, that's why it says precept on precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little. You know, and we have to bring up what's it called? Precepts to back the points up. All right, verse 19.
Yep. For their power is in their mouth and in their tails, for their tails were like unto serpents and had heads, and with them they do hurt.
See, mouth. What's that talking about? Multiple warheads that will do the damage. Those warheads will do the damage. All right. It's not actually this is just a delivery system. You know, the actual trunk or the cone of the nuclear missiles, but it's the warheads inside that do the actual damage, and the warheads are right at the top. So when they fire it, it will open up, and all these warheads will come out, and it will obliterate this place. All right. What one do we do? 19.
Khan.
Oh, so that probably just saying as well, just to put the image out there. If for them to do the most damage, those warheads aren't gonna hit the ground. They're not gonna hit the earth. There's a certain altitude where they're gonna go off to maximize the spread.
Yeah.
Because once it hits the ground, you're gonna have multiple buildings and everything else is gonna, help to stop the dispersal. But above, there's less in the way to spread that damage, man.
There's a film called The Knowing.
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage.
The end of that, man. When you see the missiles, that's beautiful. When I watched that, man, it's like you should watch it. The film is bullshit.
Yeah, this film is
really
crap, man.
But that end scene when the Earth is being destroyed, right? Basically, I'll spoil it a little bit. They gather up certain children and take them to another planet because they know that these aliens do that so they can start again, and they know that the Earth's going to be destroyed.
Yeah.
And it's still spiritual.
Yeah.
But the film is really not that good. But that end scene, the destruction, man, it's amazing to watch.
I used to put it on most of my videos, man. At the end. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I remember.
Yeah. When I used to do them kind of visual videos, I used to always put that at the end, man. You know
So
what I
the
mean?
nukes explode at the end of the film.
Yeah. So you see them hit America, and then you see the fire, lake of fire,
Engulfing
just engulfing everything that is seen. And you see the family in the house huddling together like
Yeah.
that. And then the fire comes through the window, man.
Yep.
And then that's it.
The last moments.
So I used to put it on some of the end of my videos and then put Yahushua rising up
Go on.
with a crown on his head, man.
Yeah.
Because that's what's going to happen. Once that prophecy happens, then he's going to come down and restore order on the earth, man. All right? And that's where we're going to rule, and we're going to rule forever. So this is not something that you should be... lazy about, man. You have to Hey, look, we talked about that yesterday. Disabled people with arms and legs chopped off, they go and do Mount Everest. The other day a cracker did that and he ain't got no legs. He did it with artificial legs. He's the first man to go up to Everest or one of these stupid mountains, and the hardest things are the most worth it to do. All right, verse 20, isn't it?
Khan, but Salaka, I believe I think we skipped over 16.
No, we didn't.
No,
That's
no,
why I
thousand.
went to Joel.
All right, okay, cool.
Yeah, no, we didn't.
Khan.
I think we did go with that because we did talk about Joel.
Alright, cool. Salaka,
yeah, we did. We did verse 16.
cool.
So
Verse 20, yeah?
Yep.
Revelation 9 and 20, and the rest of the men which were not killed by these plagues, yet repented not of the works of their hands.
See, so that's showing you that even when we shackle them up, they're not going to repent. The Edomites, they're not going to repent. They're gonna be proud. Keep going.
Yep. That they should not worship devils and idols of gold and silver and brass and stone and of wood, which neither can see nor hear nor walk. Neither repented they of their murders, nor of their sorceries, nor of their fornication, nor of their thefts.
So when we come down no winning of that number, when they're shackled up, all right, because there's going to be a nuclear destruction, but not all Edomites are going to be put to death. So when we take over, they're going to deny everything. Oh, I haven't done anything.
It wasn't me.
It wasn't me. Just like how they do now.
Justify.
But that's talking about their religion and belief systems. In that day, they're going to pray to their white Jesus or whatever they believe in, man. They're satanic gods, and those gods are not going to be nowhere to help you, man. All right, you're going to be shackled up and chained, man. All right, and then you're gonna be in bondage, all right, for 1,000 years, and then done away with, man. And good riddance to you, man. And we got 1,000 years to bang the life out of your women, and we're gonna do that, man. Believe that, man. All right, believe that, man. And they're not gonna like it, man. It's gonna be like, master Yukau's bedchamber. Please don't, no, please, no, no. You know, like how you saw in Roots when they wanted to brand our people and our people were fighting. The white woman is going to be in the dungeon, chained up. I say, get whore number 8.
Hey, listen, man, that's righteous, man.
That's righteous.
Because they did it to our women.
They did it to our women, man. Have you any of you brothers watched the new Roots?
No.
Which is made in 2016. It's brutal, man. It's brutal, man. There's a bit where the
No spoilers.
all right,
All right,
let me just put it this way. Let me not spoil it. Put it this way. It's graphic, man.
Bro.
I prefer the older one. You know why do I prefer the older one? Because there's no need. We know that the Israelite woman was raped to hell.
Yeah, but you know why there is a need? I know why you say that.
Yeah.
And there is a need, man, because we need to have these things coming out so these Edomites can have the guilt that they deserve.
Right.
Yeah.
Although they try to deny it, they do feel guilty. That's why they don't like us talking about these things.
Yeah. All right.
Get over it. They wish we could get
Slavery
over
never
it.
happened.
Yeah. Say we have
So
they
they never
need to
have
move
to-
on.
Yeah.
But,
Never forget.
all right, they may feel guilty, but as the scriptures say, they repent not. They're not gonna. They're gonna. So it's gonna be a world. Even when it's shackled up, they're gonna think like this is some great injustice, and they're not gonna have like the elites. Who's gonna? Hey, get that scripture where it says bind their kings and nobles. Because
I've got precepts as well.
yeah, because those kings and nobles, they're gonna be shackled up, man. All that privilege that they have now, that's gonna be done away with, man. All right, and all them higher class Rothschilds and all that kind of stuff, those people, they're going to be the first people to go into slavery.
This is Zechariah 11 verse 5, touching what one was saying. Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. And they that sell them say, Blessed be Yahweh, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not.
Yeah, their own shepherds, like your Jesse Jacksons, your Al Sharptons. What's that? Jesse Lee Patterson? That coon. Hey, he's a...
Who?
Jesse Lee Patterson. He's the one that sits down and he
Is that
sits
his
down.
name?
Yeah, he sits down with the Hebrew Israelites.
Yeah, that guy.
And he goes, so
super cool, man.
you don't like the white man because all your problems on the white man. He makes you laugh though.
But he says things like he loves white people.
Yeah, he's a coon. He's one of the biggest, and I don't think he's actually lying. I think he's the biggest coon.
Yeah.
Like one of you brothers showed a video in the chat of the black guy with the white guy debating, and they were I can't remember. But I remember that debate. That white guy that he was debating with died of cancer. Yeah, he had cancer while he was debating, and then the black guy heard that he died, and the black guy started crying over him.
Wow.
He's like he was like and to his son, you know. But though, if you watch that debate, the white guy was saying, "You blacks are this, you black." He was being, you know, he didn't say nigger or anything, but he demoralized all of us. Do you get what I mean? You blacks are this, you commit crimes. Why don't you sort things out in your own neighborhood? Is that like all the problems we have is nothing to do with the so-called white man.
Right.
You know? And then a few years later, he died of cancer, man. And this nigger that was debating him, all right, was crying over him.
That's crazy.
That's crazy, man.
Stockholm syndrome.
Stockholm syndrome, man.
Indeed.
So listen, them nobles are gonna be bound up. They're the first ones that are gonna go into slavery.
Let's read it.
That's right.
Psalms 149. It says, "Praise ye the Lord, sing unto the Lord a new song, and his praise in the congregation of saints. Let Israel rejoice in him that made him. Let the children of Zion be joyful in their king. Let them praise his name in the dance. Let them sing praises unto him with the timbrel and harp. For the Lord taketh pleasure in his people. He will beautify the meek with salvation. Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Let the high praises of the Most High be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron, to execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his saints. Praise ye the Lord." That last bit's the best bit. Well, one of the best bits, let's say. The fetters of iron, that's beautiful too.
Yeah,
But,
and it says
the honor, man.
exactly. It's an honor. It will be an honor to chain them up. But like it said in Revelations 9, they're not gonna repent, man. They're gonna. You know, like when someone gets caught for a crime, you know, and they say, "What me? What me?" You know what I mean? They start crying and all that stuff. That's how Esau's going to be in the kingdom. But after a while, we're going to beat them down so much that they're gonna keep their mouth shut, man.
Yeah, do you know why? Because they're gonna realize after a while that there's no getting out of it.
Yeah.
There is no future.
Yeah.
And they can look at our past and see that we managed to, through the Lord, escape that the slavery and all that other, you know. But that's never gonna happen for them. Man.
That's not gonna happen for them.
There is no escape, man.
There's no
They're gonna look
escape.
at our past and think, yeah, these niggas got out of it. Just we have to just bide our time and we'll get out of it. No, man.
They'll still be singing for white Jesus to come.
All that's gonna happen is you're gonna do your service to us, and then you're gonna be destroyed, man.
So they're not gonna have them white Jesus idols that they pray to. Nothing.
Yep.
That's all gonna be done away in the kingdom, man.
Hey, how beautiful is the thought of a world without Edomites, man?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I want them around for a while
Yeah, of course. But once that's over and done with, man,
to
Go on.
drill life out
it's
of
gonna
them.
be great, man.
Yeah, and the so-called white woman is just as evil as the white man.
Yeah.
Maybe
Edomite.
maybe even Edomite woman is maybe even worse than the white man because
Women are wicked by
Yeah,
default.
they're wicked.
Yeah,
They're wicked. I
yeah,
don't
all
know about
women-
being more wicked. Though.
yeah, all women are wicked, but the Edomite woman, man, in slavery, you can imagine what the kind of things that they initiated. Some of them was actually raping slaves. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? They'll just go in there and say, "Get your clothes off." You know what I mean? And he don't want to do it, but you know, she mounts him, and you know,
They heard about the black of the berry.
yeah, it's disgusting, man. So, hey, we'll close on this. The heart should meditate terror. Because we have to. Harv, you get that one. All right, because we have to make sure that the prophets are visionaries to see the future. So once we understand these scriptures and breakdowns and stuff, you can visualize us being in charge and us being righteous, man. Because it's happening already. The third temple's being built. You know? And it's a beautiful thing. But on it, it's a double-edged sword because the Bible says a false band's abomination to the Lord. It's going to be our kingdom, it's going to be our heaven, and it's going to be the Edomites and the other nations' hell.
Yep.
So just like when you go abroad and they say traveling while being black, all the things like over there in China, if you're black, they'll touch your hair, you know, and they don't mean anything bad by it, but yeah, they'll look at you, they'll touch your hair. Some people say, "Oh, does that come off?" Well, all that's gonna be done away with, man. In the kingdom, man. We're gonna be doing that to them, you know.
Yeah, but you give them too much credit, man. They do
Some of them do.
wickedness because it's not normal to go up to another person you don't know and just touch them like that.
Yeah,
That's internationally known, man.
That's pride.
Yeah, so we is and basically they're trying to say that we're deformed or something. Like you guys are not normal. But listen, half of the world looks like us. All right,
If not more.
if not more. Okay.
Well, if you want to talk about brown skin, you know, Indian, Edomites, them Sri Lankans are darker than us, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, thanks. All right, read that.
Meditate
From?
terror.
Yeah,
Meditate
meditate.
terror.
Isaiah 33 verse 18. Thine heart shall meditate terror. Where is the scribe? Where is this receiver? Where is he that counted the towers?
Right. The main thing is your heart should meditate terror. I'm just proving to you that listen, there's nothing wrong with what we're saying. All right. We meditate on terror for our enemies. We ain't meditating terror on our own people. we ain't, I mean, I don't meditating to kill this brother or any of these brothers. All right. But the ones that have touched us for no reason, they ain't gonna get got. Simple as.
Eye for eye, tooth for tooth, wound for wound, stripe for stripe.
Burning for
Yeah,
burning.
and that's how you got to understand the difference between killing and murder, right? When we kill these people, man, that's righteous, man. It's not murder; it's sanctioned by the Most High, man.
Go on.
They're murderers, man.
Yeah, it'll be a righteous thing to put.
Yeah, I got that precept.
Oh, God. Yeah.
2 Thessalonians 1 and 6. It says, seeing it is a righteous thing with the Most High to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you.
There you go, recompense, man.
Yeah.
To them that trouble you. Payback. And that's what we're gonna get, man. Alright? So we've done Revelations chapter 9. Anyone want to say anything?
Yeah, I'll say one more thing regarding that because you know look what they did to men in slavery, to the men, the buck breaking, all that stuff.
Oh.
So we have laws, man. You know, we have laws, statutes, and commandments. So when we deal with them, it's going to be done through the laws, man.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah.
Gonna be a lot of stoning going on, man.
Yeah.
All right.
There ain't going to be none of that buck breaking, man.
Yeah, there's gonna
And
be
you
no.
fucking Edomites, you probably like it anyway.
Yeah.
And we're gonna.
Because you're you know you've got the
They're
spirit of
secret sodomites.
faggotry, man.
They're secret sodomites, so they really get off on that crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're gonna. Oh my gosh, man! They're gonna they're gonna be like trying to suck up to us eventually, but it's gonna do them no good.
They have no hope.
You know, they got no hope whatsoever. We have hope, but they got no hope whatsoever. So all you niggas that want to be white, you're on the wrong. Your mind is on the wrong side, man. You're supposed to be on the right side, the Lord's side, but your mind state is maybe on the left hand side. All right, and that's the reason why you Israelites stick up for your master, because he's on the left hand side. All right. So Revelations 9. When's the next one? A couple weeks time we'll do. All right. So with that, I give all praises to
Allah, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rahak, Wadash.
Double honors to the apostle, Elspeth Millstone. Shalom to the elect.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.